Hello, everybody, and welcome to ZoomZoomers. As always, I'm Damien Cross at DC_F1 on Twitter, and I'm going to let the guys in now. So we'll see who's here. Apologies for any bad language from the start, but hopefully they'll all be as well behaved as they normally are, and I'll introduce them as they come in here. So I can see a few names. Sorry if there's a bit of a delay on the internet. I know it's a little bit slower than normal, but I can see some faces popping up now. And we have Alan. We have a few people here. I'll wait for them all to join before I start introducing them. Joe, we've got Craig, we've got Mark, we've got Cammie, we've got Ian. How are you all doing? You all right?
Good, man. You?
Yeah, I'm all right. Can you hear me okay? As always, the internet's just not being the most reliable thing in the world, but hopefully we can muddle through. Let's try Alan. Alan, are you more stable? More stable?
Yeah, well, I think that's a pretty fair thing.
Is that nice to say?
Can you hear me okay this week?
Let's fingers crossed. That bit was fine.
Good, because I was all prepared.
Fantastic. Okay, let's do the intros then. So Alan, let us know by voice if possible your name and your Twitter handle, please.
I'm Alan Bradley, and I'm presenter of the Motoring Podcast. You can find me on Twitter at AJP Bradley. That's BRADLEY.
Fantastic. And Near, your name and Twitter.
I'm near Kahn. I design vehicles. Last time I pointed at the wrong corner because I didn't appreciate that it was going to mirror. I should be pointing at my name this time. It's near underscore Kahn on Twitter.
Fantastic. Thank you. Craig, before you take a drink.
That's fine. I'm only on the water today.
Yeah, same here. Yeah.
Yep, far too hot for anything else. I'm Craig at Craig_Woollard on Twitter, and I have bought a new T-shirt.
Look at that. We'll recognise that.
I like it. I like it.
Looks fantastic. And let's lead us on to Ian then. Ian.
I am Ian Cook from Pop Band Colour, and I did that T-shirt. And I'm pissed, and I draw, and I create stuff. With cars and whatnot.
Fantastic. Thanks for that, Ian. Cammie.
Hello, I'm Cammie at Cammie Racing on Twitter, esport driver for Team Fordzilla, and because of Ian, I've bought a lot of pens.
Yeah.
All because of Ian. I think he's got a stake in Hobbycraft.
There was a lot of pen chat on the group chat this week, so that's good to see. Mark.
Yes, Mark, and I am Blacktop Media UK, and I'm a automotive journalist and champion blagger.
Fair enough. Joe.
Joe Tanner, Twitter at Stuff About Cars, and for those who don't know, I'm a volume planning manager at a big automotive OEM.
Ah, fantastic. Thanks, Joe. And Hannah, your second time on ZoomZoomers, this time from the very start. If I could take your name and your Twitter handle as well, please.
Yeah, Hannah Gordon. I am at Female Mechanic 1 on Twitter.
Lovely. Thank you very much. So Mark's got a drink, but how many of us are just on water tonight? Oh, Joe's, yeah.
I've got a fruit juice.
I've got both.
We've had a few people unable to attend tonight, which is a bit of a shame, but no worries, because there's always plenty of people here to make up for it. So it's good to see you all back, and I appreciate it's been short notice for a few of you as well. So there has been a theme for the week. We'll come on to that later, but some people may not have had a chance to do that, but not to worry. So Ian, now this week, as well as painting with cars and that kind of thing, you've also been doing a bit of work with continuous cars. What was that all about? Because we saw a lot of activity around the launch of a new car.
Yeah, so the Audi A3 Sportback launch was done from my studio, which is quite a cool thing to do. So we had a 10 journalists from What Car, Top Gear, Parker's, and a few other publications. So I basically taught them how to as a continuous car, which is quite interesting, quite cool. I used to be a teacher way back when, so it was kind of throwing my way back to being a teacher. But it was fun. It was a fun activity, and they all did really, really well. Probably a lot better than me, actually. I was worried about putting myself out of a job.
Oh, good to hear.
Sorry, chap.
No, I was just saying, good to hear all went smoothly, and I saw a few of the designs that people had done, and they looked fantastic. So hopefully the Audi team were happy with all that. So it's good, and also we can't forget that it's been another Grand Prix at Silverstone. Of course, we're seeing a lot more of your work there as well. Again this weekend,
Yeah,
you're just everywhere.
Yeah, it's very kind of them to put the cameras where they do put them. So I don't pay them; they just happen to do it. Which is very it's been good. And like going back to the Audi thing, it was really interesting how they did it all via in this kind of socially distanced ways. How they were able to do it, it seemed to go well. Got a good reaction. So and I've done something else today, which will be revealed in a couple of weeks' time. It's quite exciting. So. It's just been really hot in the studio. It's just really, really hot.
It's really hot everywhere. This is where Nia says, you British people over there in Britain just you can't talk about this. So we're hitting 30 degrees Celsius at the moment, Nia. How does that compare to you?
Well, it's like it normally is here, although I do gather it's a couple of degrees hotter where you are than it is here, weirdly enough.
Really?
Humidity.
But yeah, we're used to it. So it's...
Yeah. We don't have any aircon or anything like that. So we just sit here and die. That's probably the only solution we've got to the problem. So what sort of temperature is it there? About the same as we've got here, if it was daytime.
It's 10 o'clock at night here now, but it must be 26, 27, something like that.
Oh, I see. Okay.
About the same as here then.
Yeah, it's probably about the same. So Alan, this time you're able to talk to camera. How's your week been?
It's been not bad. It's been kind of
good.
quiet. Hasn't really involved much car stuff, to be honest. But yeah, it's been good.
And you had a guest host on the Motoring podcast this
We
time
did.
round.
Had Dan Puddicombe this week, who writes for a company car today, as well as other stuff. He does quite a lot of rail and mobility stuff too. So he was on last week because Mr. Clues was sunning himself, sitting on the beach or something. But Andrew's back this week, and it is the 5th anniversary of our. He told me earlier on 5th anniversary of our first recording.
Wow, time has
Tomorrow
flown.
night. It's terrifying.
If
really
people
is.
haven't caught them yet, there's lots of stats to get through. So every time I listen to one, because you're in the mid 300s now, I always think, it's almost one per day for a whole year. So what sort of number are you on at the moment?
346, I think tomorrow will be.
Yeah, not far off now. Fantastic. Thanks for that, Mark. So 2 wheels. I always come to you for the 2 wheel stuff because you're pretty much the only guy here that spends most of his life on 2 wheels. Has this fantastic weather been good for you, or has it been a nightmare with all the holiday makers clogging up the roads?
Yeah, well, the traffic's not a big issue. I quite like that because you can carve through them pretty easily. It's not so bad. But the temperature, man. I mean, I'm a big unit, and I always wear protective gear. I don't go out in shorts and t-shirt or anything. So I am just like, oh man, I've done it again.
What's that? What's he done?
Motorbiker, he's fallen over, hasn't he?
That's
why God gave us 4 wheels.
This weather, it is like insane, man.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, so with the have you been anywhere nice on 2 wheels this week, or?
No, last weekend we went to Norfolk for a few days. That was a Suzuki Katana. That was nice. So it's a 150 brake horsepower sort of naked muscle bike. That was excellent. I went with some friends of ours, and my 2 girls took some horses. So they were riding on the beach. I was mooching about on the bike. It was good. It was really nice, man.
Oh, brilliant. My neck of the woods, Norfolk. So whereabouts did you go?
Oh, Holcombe.
Okay.
Do you know Holcombe Beach at all?
Yeah.
Norfolk. Yeah.
Yeah. No,
really nice.
Everywhere in Norfolk's got a beach near it because that's just it's surrounded by the stuff. So
Either that or a turnip.
Yeah.
Sorry, Alan.
I said it's either that or a turnip.
Fantastic. Oh, good to know you've come out this way. Hannah, how's the hot weather been? Have you seen any particular issues with people breaking down and that kind of thing, or?
Not so much breaking down. Air conditioning. We've had loads and loads of people coming in for air conditioning, so that's been a massive rise in that basically. But it's because there's now 2 different types of air conditioning gas. So there's a new one that came out a few years back. So it's we haven't got the newer machine, so we can do stuff up to about 2016, I believe. But we're just getting a lot of air conditioning. People realising that it's run out or they've got problems with it. So we're getting a lot of that. but not really many. I'm getting a lot of turbos that have gone. I don't know. I don't think it's the weather. I think it's just turbos.
Cars sat
in
around for a
general.
while, maybe, during
Yeah.
lockdown.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Sat around and not
So
being, yeah.
just bits like that, but
Cool.
I
How
lost a
about this?
turbo just after lockdown.
Did
Might
you?
well be that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, the car hadn't been moving all that much, and then when it did start moving again, the turbo went.
yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah, I can guess these things get clogged up, don't they? Have you seen any? I'm not sure. Do you guys do MOTs? Have you seen that this weird extra extension of MOTs meant everyone's now kind of trying to cram for an MOT
Yeah,
together?
it's crazy.
But yeah,
it's so difficult to kind of. We're struggling to fit people in at the moment because obviously the 6-month extension ended on the 1st of August. So
yeah,
everyone's now like they've got to have their MOTs, and then people are starting to realise that maybe they should get him in before the rush. September and October are going to be really, really busy.
Well, my MOT's due next week, and I haven't booked it yet, so I have to get on that because I haven't had the 6 months extension, because it being due in August. So, oh dear, I'm not sure how I'm going to get around that one, but oh well, it's a minor problem because I'm not really using the car at the moment. At least I'm in a 2-car household, so if I need to get anywhere, there is the wife as well. So, Joe, how's your week been? What have you been up to this week? If you can tell us anything about work and that kind of thing.
Work was busy because beginning of the month is always our busiest time, but it's just a load of spreadsheets, so I shan't bore you with that. But car wise, I've got a Corsa E on order, and I've got a date to collect that in early September, which I'm really looking forward to. Bit of fun and games in getting the wall box installed because the charger the wall box we've ordered comes off the consumer unit. The consumer unit's not up to latest regulations, so we'll have a new one of those. When we had a smart meter installed, they didn't fit an isolation switch, so I've had to have that installed first. So it's just kind of one thing and then another thing, then another thing, and then finally I can get the car. So
cool. When's that due to arrive then?
September 9th. So
okay.
So just a month away now, but really looking forward to going electric.
Yeah. There's a lot of love on here for Vauxhall because we feel they sometimes get a bit of an unfair rap. They're never really included. The red-green questions later are slightly different for this week, so be prepared for Vauxhall to crop up during that, as well as lots of other manufacturers. So, Cammie, could you let us know how's your week been? I mean, I know Fordzilla have got a competition going at the moment. I've seen a lot of people asking you about that because you need to have an Xbox for Forza. Is that right?
Yeah, you need to have, at least an Xbox or a PC.
Okay.
But yeah, Forza Motorsport 7, get your best lap time in a Ford GT around the Spa-Francorchamps circuit. Got 3 more days, I think. I think the top time at the moment is about a 2-minute 14, 2-minute 15. So everyone's still in with a chance. I haven't had as many entrants as we expected. So
there's a good chance if you're
good
fairly
chance
handy.
for someone to,
Yeah. Okay. That's cool. How's the? Have you had any more interest in the graphic design? I mean, there's obviously the F1 stuff you do, but I know you've just been designing a new thing about coming out as non-binary. And how's that gone down so far?
Oh, shoosh, that's a secret.
Oh,
I've not announced that yet. Oh, I spoiled it now. No, it's just that I had a lot of people. So I have that art print that's like male to female, and then there's another one that's female to male. And I had a lot of people going, "Oh, I want a non-binary one." And I thought, well, I've never known how to portray that because also it's like I did the art from my own experience. So it's quite hard to do somebody else's. And when it's male to female, it's quite clear. You just play on stereotypes of long hair, short hair, beard, boobs. But with non-binary, I wasn't sure. LA. Yeah, as men, just men and women, beard, boobs. With non-binary people, I was like, I'm not sure how to represent it, but I've been talking to a few people and I think I've got it nailed down now. So.
Excellent. Look forward to seeing it. Sorry if I've released the information there, but I haven't seen any finished articles or anything. So
there was a non-disclosure agreement and a penalty of £5,000. So.
Oh, okay, we'll sort that out between us. LA, thanks for joining us. Could you let us know your name and your Twitter handle, please?
Yeah, it's LA and my Twitter handle is @1_LA. Dead simple.
That's simple. Thanks for that. I guess you watched the F2 again at the weekend.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, very interesting. You know, a few Brits there on the podium, which was great to see. Of course, a lot of champagne being sprayed, and yeah, quite eventful, really.
Quite eventful, and a Brit that's leading the championship at the moment as well. So that's
yes, certainly is looking good.
Looking good. Were you on duty this weekend, or were you watching it just as a fan, or did you have to write anything about it?
I was kind of on duty. We're kind of going in a slightly new direction of, well, I don't really want to say too much, you know, at the moment, because it's on the infancy stages, but we're just taking a slightly different angle at the minute, and it's more about information gathering this weekend.
Okay.
So hopefully next weekend that'll become a bit more relevant. But yeah, I mean, I was actually down at Silverstone last week, and I've mentioned this frequently, but some of you know I've got disabilities, so I was actually really tired over the weekend, so I did obviously, you know, step down a little bit from my normal duties, because I have to pace myself basically. So yeah, but so my couple of days away was a bit tiring, really.
Oh, bless you. You're all right now, though.
Yeah, well, it's up and down. You know, I have these conditions where you get sort of chronically fatigued, and over Saturday night, I actually slept for 12 hours, and I could have slept for longer. And I've just really rested the last sort of 24 hours. And yeah, so and that's what you have to do. You have to kind of sacrifice if you're gonna. I think a lot of people with disabilities might agree that if you're going to go to something, even if it's just a party or even a day out shopping, you just have to pace and compensate on other days. So yeah, so I went off enjoying myself, but paid the price.
Yeah, and we really appreciate you still coming on to ZoomZoomers, because you know, it's probably a time when you quite like to just be sat at home chilling, and you could come and you know, spend some time with us lot. Bless you. But yeah, no, the Formula 2 was fantastic. Did you guys see any of the F1? I'm guessing Craig probably did, but anyone else catch any of it? Yeah. So not the winner we necessarily expected. Craig, do you think it was well, why did the Red Bull manage to win that race?
I think there were some decisive laps in the early stages that really determined the shape of the second half of the race.
Yeah,
there was a point where Verstappen was closing in on Hamilton, who was running in second, and his team told him to drop back, and Verstappen decided he was not going to drop back. Instead, he pressed the Mercedes and forced them into an earlier pit stop than perhaps they would have liked. And when the Mercedes came out, you also have to remember that Verstappen was starting on the hardest compound, and the two Mercedes were starting on the medium compound. So Verstappen had the tyre advantage as well as a pace advantage that transpired. So when the two Mercedes came out on the harder tyre, they both quickly established that the harder tyre was not going too well on their car. So they tried to stretch Hamilton to a one-stop, absolutely no chance of that happening. And Verstappen just had the pace when he had the harder tyres on, and then same again when he had the medium tyres on. And before he knew it, he was able to come out ahead of both Mercedes, and that was it.
Do you think that the temperatures played a big part in that, or is it just Verstappen being able to put pressure on that the Mercedes couldn't really cope with?
Yeah, it's sort of the first really hot Grand Prix that we've had this year around a circuit that's demanding a Silverstone is on the tyres. So yeah, it could well just be the case of the Mercedes has got that much downforce and the temperatures were that high that they were just completely chewing up the tyres because those tyres did not look healthy. Especially the rear tyres, which is a little bit strange because Silverstone isn't normally a rear limited circuit. It's usually the fronts, and that's something that we saw in the Formula 2 race with a puncture or two in there. So yeah, it's a little bit surprising in that regard, but I think it's just the sheer amount of downforce and the sheer temperature that we had this weekend. I don't think like Pirelli were expecting it, because we had a step softer on the tyres this weekend to what we had at the same circuit last weekend, and there were tyre problems last weekend as it was.
Yeah, that's fair enough. And I think had Max not been putting that pressure on, maybe the Mercedes could have cruised a little bit more. But the Max is kind of outshone his teammate yet again this year. Last year, he had a couple of teammates that like struggled to keep up with him. Is Max ready to be put on a higher pedestal than he already is, do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't see any reason why not. He's absolutely like demonic in the car at the moment. I think that's the best way to put it. He's always there or thereabouts, even though the car is barely quicker than the Racing Point, I reckon, in terms of outright pace. And he's always been either thereabouts, or the car's given up on him. So I've been very, very much like struggling to try and find any particular flaws in his season to date. And there's good reason why he's now sitting second in the championship.
Yeah, it's a remarkable achievement. So as well as that, you mentioned how close he was to Mercedes. Now, we perhaps expected Racing Point to do quite well, especially when you saw that they were qualifying so well. How do you think Nico Hulkenberg did on his first proper race back?
He did all right. I sort of like don't. The problem is that Hulkenberg's only set out like 4 races basically, so it's not really that much really when you think about it. He was only out of the job for a few months longer than everyone else really when you consider it. So he's a professional. He knows how to operate a Formula One car. He didn't have the best of starts from third on the grid, and like he trashed his second set of tires, which prompted a late pit stop, which dropped him behind his teammate Stroll. But wasn't like a sort of miraculous, like incredible performance. It was a very, very solid weekend, which is exactly what you would expect from a super sub.
I think I kind of agree with you, Craig, but kind of after throwing the fact that he hasn't sort of gone straight back into Renault, though, like a car and a team that he knows. I mean, I know he knows Force India as they were, but I think to be a bit fairer to him, it's not like he jumped straight back in the Renault. So, the car is different. And I did notice some background stuff with him not even really knowing the steering wheel very well. And of course, over a period of a Grand Prix, that's going to be quite important and relevant. And again, from the previous weekend, that he didn't get that experience on the track, whereas the others did, and it's still a slight advantage. So you're right about him trashing the tyres, and it was unfortunate because obviously I do think he could have finished just a little bit higher. But in my humble opinion, I think he did incredible. Incredible Hulk.
Oh dear, LA, that's why you get paid the big bucks, isn't it? Yeah. Well, talking about motorsport, you guys had a lot of you had a task this week. So I know not all of you have had a chance to do it, especially those of you brought in at the last minute, but I see some fidgeting around because I know a few people have got some helmets designed. So was it LA? Was it you that brought it up last week and said, should we just do our own helmets? We were talking about Lando Norris and that kind of thing. So LA, have you managed to get a helmet together?
I did. I've made 3, but the other 2 I'm gonna save for later, and you'll understand why.
Okay.
But this is my helmet. My helmet.
You've actually made it.
Oh my.
Do you like my feathers? Or it's shaking my tail feather. Look at that.
A painting on the side, like a framed painting.
Yes, it's me.
The selfie.
It's me. Look, in my in my Racing Point mask.
All the other drivers sort of being blinded by the glitter and
Sorry.
the feathers coming off and just getting stuck in their visor.
Honestly, it's no worse than some of Lewis Hamilton's have been. I mean, really.
I've got some messages on here. So look, I've put like ZoomZoomers.
Hey, sponsorship.
There we go, hashtag. And then there's my little LA, my little handle. And then I put here, just in case you didn't know, I put, this is LA's helmet, not yours, LA's.
Oh.
It looks perfect for the Moulin au Rouge.
Well, it's got a really small head, so it fits.
It does. It's a bit Daft Punk as well, isn't it? You could just wear that out.
I feel like mine's really dull in comparison now.
I was kind of going to go to the trouble of making the helmet go up and down as well, but I thought, no, that's just going a bit too far.
That is going a bit far, but appreciate it. So Cammie, you've had a chance to do another one as well, but not quite as bling, I guess.
Well, I didn't even print it out.
No, I don't think anyone would have.
How do I screen record?
Hang on, I'll just let you share. 1 second, I've got to allow that first. Which is going to take me a good 12 to 15 minutes. Hang on. Advanced sharing options, all participants. There we go. Give that a whirl.
I haven't seen anything change. Where do I go? Where do I go?
A big green button at the bottom. Have you got that?
Oh.
Yeah, don't press the red one. Don't press the red one.
Don't press the red one. Right.
Okay, we have a helmet on screen now.
So you can all see that.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what I use in. Oh, I can hear myself. So that's why I'm getting doubles, like my voice back at me. So that's what I use in iRacing. So I just slap the texture on your template. No points for you. You can guess whose helmet it's based on.
Oh, Mansell. Is it Mansell? Yeah, it's the design of Mansell, but obviously in your own colours. Yeah. Oh, fantastic! Thanks for that. So you actually raced that in iRacing?
Yeah. If you look through the window of the Ford GT or when I'm in Formula 3, you can. Yeah, you'll be able to see that.
Great. Thanks for that.
Hooray!
If you wanna.
Now I've got to find the button to stop. There we go.
Hey, lovely stuff. Fantastic. So, Cammie and LA, I'll just tick you guys off. Now, I know that Joe, you've got one, haven't you?
Oh, yes, mine is it's a helmet submission, but it's also my submission to a different request, which is which brand would I most like to bring back?
So, can anyone spot the brand?
Is it Pontiac?
It's Pontiac.
Yeah.
That's correct.
Oh.
Correct. Yeah. Well done.
Okay, I think we're getting a bit of feedback from someone. I'm not sure who it is. Did everyone else hear a bit of feedback?
Yeah, I thought it was you.
It started when I started screen sharing, didn't it?
Yeah.
I'll leave and come back.
If you think it's me, I'll put it in.
No,
it seems to have
must have been
stopped
Cammie.
now.
No, it hasn't.
Oh no, it's still going. Hang on. I'm just going to pop myself on mute.
Look, the green light, when the green light comes on, it's coming on around my screen. So maybe it's me. Let me try this.
Okie dokie.
And then I'll come back if it doesn't work.
Okay. Does it seem to have stopped for everybody now?
Yes.
I think we've nailed it. You're all right, buddy. No, not to worry.
I don't know why, because there's nothing on. There's nothing on in the room.
I'm going to let Cammie in, and when I let Cammie in, I'm actually going to be letting the guest in as well. So you'll have to give them a nice welcome when they come in, because there's two people waiting in here. So just give that a few minutes. Hopefully they'll connect in just a moment. One person is waiting. Come on, Cammie. Okay. Looks like it's going a little bit slow there. So Joe, so Pontiac. Any particular reason for Pontiac? Sorry, I think I missed that.
Yeah, I didn't say. My other classic car is a '68 Pontiac Firebird.
Oh, nice. Let's have a look at that again. Was it a black? Just
it was keeping it simple so that it shows up well on the TV and so on.
Yeah.
So you've probably got a lot of reflections on there. But,
No, we can see that fine. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Lovely. Cammie, I don't think it was you. I think we managed to figure out what was going on there. So hopefully it wasn't too much of an issue. I can see the guest has joined, but I don't think the screen is working. So I'm just gonna attempt to get that going. So I'm going to leave Mark Turner till last because actually we can see we have a guest now. Actually, but while you're here, can you hear us okay? Although it says Richard's iPad, but this isn't Richard, of course. This is Robert. Robert, can you hear us okay?
I think I can hear you.
You think you can hear me? Well, if you answer the question, there's a good chance. If you could let us know your name and your Twitter handle, please.
I'm Rob. I don't even.
Put you on a spot there, haven't I? No. But if you search for Rob Welham,
there you go. Yeah.
Excellent. Thanks for being a guest. We'll come on to helmets in a little while because I know you've obviously got your own helmet. So if anyone doesn't know Rob, he is a race driver, and I'm really, really happy to have Rob along because we're going to be working together on a lot of things. So we're both starting new adventures and looking forward to seasons ahead. So we'll talk about. Have you got your actual race helmet there? Or
I've got one of them.
oh, okay. This is surprising.
I've got obviously my karting helmet.
Yep. So this is the one that's like
my
proper matte black. This one compared to
this is the matte black that I like.
Right.
So it's like a rubbery effect. So it doesn't. I know, like I've got a light right on top of me, but it doesn't shine as much. I know it looks like it's shining right now, but I would show you my other one. But my dad's gone to play tennis, and it's still in the back of the car.
I thought you were going to say he's wearing it.
No, he wouldn't fit in that.
Lovely, but this isn't.
But no, it's pretty much identical, just a little bit more of a rubbery matte black.
Yeah, so you've gone for plain black, which sort of suits the rest of your kit, really, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But this theme that you've got, if anyone doesn't know Rob's brand already, it's kind of black, dark greys, oranges, a mixture of like glossy and matte as well. Have you got your designs that you've done growing up?
Yeah,
brilliant. I hope. Let's have a look.
They're not matte black though.
No, that's fine. But they're still on brand.
They're quite. I don't know.
Oh, that's cool.
That's pretty wicked.
So I've got like tons of them. But I'll show you.
Yeah, show us a couple.
We got that one.
Well, we start talking about what. Nice. See, all these exotic designs, and you just gone for plain black in the end.
Yeah. Well, this is when I thought money grew on trees.
Right.
But yeah, like I wanted to go for something flash, and I loved drawing when I was younger, and I come up with all these ideas along with my stepmom's help with obviously drawing them. But some of them are good, some of them are a bit questionable. But yeah. In the end, my first helmet, I've got loads of these, and I've just dropped them off on the floor. But yeah, when I first started, I had just a helmet you could pick off the shelf. It was blue, white, and I think I had touches of silver. Like it was all right. And then my first karting coach that I met at Anglia Indoor Karting, he had a pure matte black Bell motorsport helmet, and I loved the look of the matte black and the rubbery effect to it. So I was like, oh, that's put like a little light bulb in my head. And ever since then, like it was obviously the cheaper option. I love designing them, but that's the only thing we could really afford, because you don't want to have like this massive bright colourful helmet if you can't even use it on the track. So then we went for the cheaper option and just kept it simple. But sometimes simple things are actually the best things.
Well, it makes you stand out because everyone else kind of goes for these exotic designs and they end up all looking fairly similar. But
it's all right, Rob, but I can help you out on the cheap stuff because I've got Pritt stick and loads of glitter. So...
Oh yeah. That'll work. That'll work at 155 miles an hour.
Show him, LA. Show him your design, LA.
Did you see LA's design, Rob?
No, I haven't seen.
Oh,
there
yeah.
Oh, is it good?
Shake your tail feather.
If you win your championship this year, we're going to have to get that made up for you.
I'll use that at the last round.
Yeah, all right. So let's talk a bit about what you're doing. So let's go back a few steps. You talk about go-kart, which you've done until quite recently. So how old are you now, if you don't mind me asking?
I am 18.
18. So you're kind of fresh into cars, and you're based in Suffolk, so not a million miles away from me, which is quite cool. But okay, so you're 18. When did you actually start karting then? How long ago was that?
I started in 2013.
Oh, okay.
So not 7 years, or 7 years ago. So not like long ago and not too short ago, but I first started, everyone starts at a birthday party. But I don't know if I'd be here today if we didn't do the things that built me up to get to this birthday party, because it wasn't an easy ride for me.
Yeah.
Because I kind of had a height issue where I didn't grow like all the other kids were like up here and I was still down here. So we had to buy myself like these massive Nikes that had a heel like that. Then my mum and dad were obviously like, oh, you have to eat all your veg. So I had that for like 2 months thinking that it was working. I don't know if it worked. I don't think it has because I'm still like 5'5" now. So, but no, like that's how it all started for me. And then it obviously progressed. Obviously the kart track then saw me and was like, oh, we'd like to invite you to they call it youth club as such. And that's where like they do the championship. And the first ever time I went there, they were practicing. So I practiced and they were like, oh, you can't come next week because it's the start of the championship round's already started. So you won't be able to compete because they didn't think I was quick enough till they didn't even obviously see me race. And the first session I went out, I did the same lap times and quicker than some of the championship contenders. So they were like, oh, hang on, next week you can come along. So I already missed a round from that championship, but then it carried on. And I think I won it by 2-3 points. So, and missing one round. So like, that's how it all then progressed upwards.
Excellent. So that was about 7 years ago now.
Yeah.
But, you know, so did you end up winning any championships and that kind of thing in karting then?
Yeah, I won a few. I won obviously the first championship in 2013.
Oh, yeah.
I then went on to where I still coach now at Red Lodge Young Stars. So that's what I used to do, Young Stars. And then Young Stars is where you train. And after Young Stars, then you've got the Young Stars Championship. So that's what I was obviously doing. I joined halfway through and I couldn't do the magic I did in the first one, but you wouldn't really expect to join a championship halfway through and win it because there'd obviously not be much competition. But no, like joined that, won that championship, and then I went on to the bigger corporate stuff. That was in at Ella Park. I did that. I'm not trying to obviously boast, but then I won that as well. And then we started to get into the owner carts. But with an own car, it's like 2-3 times quicker than a corporate car. Mm-hmm. And the competition is a lot higher. So that took me a year and a bit. But I was still at the front. I just didn't have the racecraft as everyone else had. So everyone else knew when to do a move, and I would be that idiot that tried to brake even later into that corner and then ended off worse.
But ultimately, it led into you going into car racing. You obviously showed enough talent and decided to give that a go. And I have to say, as far as I understand, you do have Jess's book, Get Paid to Race. Yeah.
I haven't read it, but my mum has.
As long as one of you's read it, because Jess, if she's about 1 week, she might quiz you on it. But fantastic thing to get hold of, and there's loads of great tips on there. And so what are you doing this year then? Just fill people in what you got going this year.
I am doing the Formula 1000 Championship this year. Unfortunately, there's only 4 rounds. There would have been 6, but obviously due to COVID reasons, there's only 4. But it's more competitive this year. There's a grid of 25, I believe, for the first round. I don't know how long that will last for. Hopefully, it will even go up. But you normally see in the first and the last round that's where you get the highest grids, but hopefully it will stay consistent all the way through. But yeah, this year F1000 is the main priority. I got there in the end. But yeah, it's a good championship. It's the most affordable championship for our budget. Because obviously, you know, F4 is mega expensive, but with these cars, you can perform even quicker than an F4 car, but with probably quarter to even like a lot cheaper budget.
And these cars are quick. I mean, we're talking 0 to 60 times that Mark here, the 2-wheel guy, would be more used to. What sort of 0 to 60 are you guys doing?
2.3.
2.3. Yeah, I think that's more of a struggle to do it on a motorbike, wouldn't you, Mark?
Yeah, you would. Yeah, what engines are they? They're 1000cc.
1000cc GXR Suzuki engine.
Ooh, good engine, yeah.
So they are quick. Superbike engine, obviously.
Yeah, what sort of revs can you get out of it if you're really having to go qualify?
Well, you can rev them to 13,000, but it's more of a bark than a bite.
Right.
So
okay. It's all
it revs, but it doesn't go anywhere. So we normally keep it limited, or not limited, but we keep the revs down to about 11.5, just under.
Cool. And if people want to watch you race, then it's tricky, obviously, with COVID and things. But the season starts later on in August, doesn't it?
Yes.
Is that the 23rd at Silverstone, or 22nd,
yes,
something like that? Isn't it? I don't know.
I think 22nd, 23rd at Silverstone International. I think that is.
Cool,
Can I
fantastic.
just quickly ask something?
Yeah, go for it, Cammie.
I know last year Formula or F1000 had some cars at the Motorsport Days live at Silverstone.
Yeah.
Is that something you're going to this year?
I think I did that 2 years ago. I did that, and it was a good event. Like, I loved it. Just obviously last year we had quite a few, not problems of the team, but just unfortunate issues. So we couldn't afford to do it. But I believe Dax, with the red and white car, he was there showing off what he's called. What's it called? I can't think of it off the top of my head, but he's designed a special safety feature, which is a yellow and red light. So if someone's stalled at the grid 2 years ago, we wouldn't know if they've stalled. So we would just literally be up behind them and we could go in the back of them. But now he's designed something where if you don't move in the next 10 seconds, it comes up with an orange beacon. So if they've stalled, you go past them, but you've obviously got this warning light. But yeah, it's definitely something I enjoyed doing. Just last year, budget, we couldn't obviously do it.
Fair enough.
I think
A
it
lot
got
of
rained
people.
out last year anyway, Silverstone. It was
Say
completely
again?
washed. Silverstone Motorsport Days live, it was a complete washout with the rain. So
Yeah,
quite
it
a few.
was
Yeah, the Formula 1000s, I think they mostly had slick tires, and they're like, it's pretty miserable weather. And
we don't really like going out on slicks in the wet. I think last year I did it. It was half dry and half wet, but it's either, because with these wets, it's like a karting tire. They're very, very soft. So even if it's like still damp with tiny or a little bit damp, but with the heat these tires and the softness these tires generate, it will tear them to bits like nobody's business. It's not like a road tire where they're just utterly hard. These ones actually flex with the rain, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So we will use obviously the slicks because that's the cheaper budget or cheaper option.
There's some great footage of you doing a race at Croft where you had to start in the pit lane, but that was on wet tires, though, wasn't it? That was super.
Yes, that was on wet tires, but they might as well have been slicks.
Yeah, if anyone hasn't had a chance to see that, just have a look for look for Rob Welham Racing, and find. I think it's probably your most popular YouTube clip where he starts on the in the pit lane.
That is one of my favourite races.
It's. I watched it. And I just thought it was a practice session because you were just going around people like they were stood still, and then I realised, no, this is actually the race.
I loved it. But no, like that race. I'm not obviously complaining, but that race, the safety car picked up the wrong person. So three of the top runners didn't get picked up with the safety car, but us packing the top 5, I believe it, or the top 4. We then got bunched up, so then the leaders were gone. So I wanted to make a bit more progress than I perhaps did, but it's stuff happens. You can't take back the past.
On the video, it makes it look like you've got up to second place because I think there's only one car in front of you where the safety car's there, so it looks like you're already up to there and then rooting for the win. But it turns out, the leaders got ahead. Yes, not F1, is it? But anyway, thanks for that. We'll go on. Thanks for showing the helmets as well. We'll crack on with a few more people's helmets. So Near, you haven't had a chance to do one, have you? And Hannah won't have done. So Alan, have you got one there?
It's not the greatest work of art ever, but as a child of the sort of 1980s, can you guys see that? Yeah,
I love how simple
the 18th.
The 1980s. Then obviously, it's got to look a bit dynamic. It's got to have a slanty stripe on it. So
I love it when a plan comes together.
Yeah, 18 vanities. To be honest, if I thought you could get little flashy lights on the front for that Knight Rider vibe as well, I would have done it.
I think you can get them. I've definitely seen in France you can get these little neon strips and they light up in the dark.
Oh, that's a game changer.
Edit of it was an edit of the Singapore Grand Prix with Grosjean's Haas, but they gave it the Knight Rider lights across the front wing.
That's cool.
And it was like deploy weapon, and then Raikkonen goes spinning out as I think Grosjean or Magnussen dived up the inside. Yeah, and they sort of gave it a VHS 80s effect.
Nice.
If I find it, I'll pop it in the chat. That was
cool.
If
you could, that'd be great. Thanks for that. Thanks for that as well, Alan. Craig, have you had a chance to do one?
I have. Now, I'm not the best graphicsy person in existence.
It can't be much worse than what I've just shown.
It's a little bit better, I'll admit. But I've got like a little bit of experience with Photoshop. I mean, it is part of my day job after all, so I probably should know how to use it by now. And I do the odd like sim racing livery here and there. But my helmet design, like Cammie's, is also based on a 1990s world champion.
Oh, okay. Prizes for getting it. Oh, Mika. Is that Mika?
Yep.
Yeah,
based on Mika Hakkonen's design, but just with different colours and with my name on it instead. And hashtag
I like the simple design helmets that are just, it's like when you have video game music. The simpler it is, the more memorable it is.
Yeah, exactly.
Black helmet.
A strong design is strong no matter what. So even if it's really simple, it can still be, it can still stand out. Whereas it doesn't matter how complicated you make the design. If it's not a good design, it won't be memorable. Which is how I feel now about the drivers that sort of change their helmet every race. It's like we don't have an iconic. You don't have like a brand so much in your helmet. Whereas then,
I was thinking about this the other day. Who's the last Formula One driver who ended his career with the same memorable helmet that he started?
I thought about that.
I think it might be Hakkonen. I couldn't think of anybody after Hakkonen who ended his career with the same iconic helmet that he started with.
Part of me wanted to say Button, but he
went
changed
yellow,
the colours of it to match brawn. So
yeah, he did.
Kind of doesn't.
Yeah, he changed it a few times. Mika, that's a very good shout.
Schumacher turned his red when he went to Ferrari.
Schumacher changed his. So
Kimmie went a bit dark, didn't he, as well?
Rosberg changed his.
That was your helmet right through your career. You might add a sponsor here or there, but that was your helmet, and everybody remembered it. And
anyone who drove Red Bull had their helmets ruined.
Yeah.
The only one I can think of is Damon Hill, and that's way before.
I was thinking, but Hakkonen.
Yeah, a couple of years
I can't think of one later than Hakkonen. Yeah.
Leave it with me. I will think of one. I'll just randomly shout out a name at some point.
No, I think Hakkonen's probably may well be the guy. Okay, Ian, have you managed to do one this week? I know you've been really busy doing other things, but
no, I've got it here. It's to scale as well. So there we are. So
whoa! After all we've just been saying about keeping it simple.
I know. Whilst you were saying that, I was like, oh well, this is good. So you got. It looks like a paint splatter. So it kind of looks like it's splattered across the helmet. Got the logo, pop pillar, paint with cars, continuous car. And then we've got a car down here. I thought a little camera, like so you can photograph any of the car parts you might want as you're racing, and then 3D print them as you want to. And then you've got a high downforce rear wing and a low downforce. So and then
Ian just said, "I've bought every pen. I'm going to use every pen."
Got all the colours, bit metallic in there as well. Hence why Hobbycraft has sold out of pens, because I've got them all.
Yeah. Has anyone else here had the privilege of going to the studio, Fargo Village, Ian's studio?
No, not yet.
I almost got there the other day.
You should do it. There's so many pens.
I was going to run out of time. I was going to hit rush hour coming back up, and with being so tired, I just had to get back. So I was gutted. I really was.
And car parts. There's lots of car parts in there as well.
There's lots of everything, and there's a fake LaFerrari out the front just doing nothing, isn't there?
As you do, Just
a grey mock. What do you call it? The faux Rari or something?
Faux LaFerrari.
Faux LaFerrari. Yeah. So if you guys are passing Coventry, which is the best thing to do with Coventry, if you're passing by, pop in and see Ian. Mark, now I've left you to last with the helmets because I did get a sneak preview of yours. And I thought, well, this is going to be one that we want to end on. Go on.
Yep. Bold, I think, is probably one way to describe the design. There we go. Can everyone see that? There we go.
Oh, that's
disturbing.
Wow. Yeah, disturbing, possibly. That would be another one. So what we have, obviously, for safety, we have this way up, just so that everyone remembers which way they need to be. There are a few other features. So the eyes were, there used to be a racer back in the back sort of 10 years or so ago, Carl Fogarty, and he was renowned for having these, for these like piercing, menacing eyes.
Yes.
So I thought I'd try a similar thing. And I think you'll agree that I've achieved that. Menacing, certainly. And then I felt a little bad about it. So I gave him a nice little kiss as well, because I thought that I want to soften the blow rather than just scare people. And there's hair on there. There's that's harvested from albino potbelly pigs because it's durable and soft as well. So it's useful, not just attractive.
That's just really worrying. Now, last week, Cammie, I don't know if you were stick for this. Cammie, you said that you might design properly on iRacing one of these helmets. I think you said whichever one was the winner or something. Are you going to stick by that, or are you going to pretend that never happened?
I'm terrified that you'll announce LA's as the winner or something, or doing Ian's on the computer.
Yeah, there's not many easy ones there, is there?
Can I do Rob's?
I took hours doing this. Hours and hours.
No, you don't want to do this.
I do.
Complex these ones.
The thing about Rob's, because that karting one, it's like, it is really matte. It's like a tire, isn't it? It's that kind of, like I say, the rubbery texture. So it might be really hard to do on iRacing. I don't know if you can get that matte sort of finish on there.
Is someone going to win? Is someone
Well,
a winner?
it's up to Cammie, I guess, because she's the one who's said that maybe she'll do one. So, Cammie, if you've got, I know you're scared of LA's one, and Mark's.
No, mine was quite nice, wasn't it? Mine was great.
Yours, yeah. Well, it's up to you, Cammie. If you manage to create one during the week, let us know. But there's no pressure on you. Although we do all want to see LA's or Mark's or Ian's, or actually any of them. It'll be great.
I had thought of a driver.
Oh, Craig,
helmet design.
he's back in the room.
Jacques Villeneuve, of course.
But he won before Hakkinen.
He won before Hakkinen, but he stayed in F1 for considerably longer than Hakkinen.
Yeah, true.
And his helmet didn't change.
And his helmet design, I do believe, did not change. Maybe like the odd sponsor logo here or there, but the main basis of it didn't change. He had this very flashy, sort of multicolored helmet, sort of with a V kind of design that he designed when he was very young, I do believe. Yeah.
With highlighter pens, I think he said he did it.
Yeah.
Just kind of grabbed
nothing like his dad's helmet, which is strange because a lot sort of like Damien Hill sort of just took his father's. And although I didn't notice the moment, obviously Damien Hill's went from black with the white lines, and then at some point it became dark blue, and I never knew when or why.
I think it was always dark blue, but TV cameras struggled to pick it up.
Was that always the case?
Yeah, I think it was always intended to be dark blue.
Yeah, same with a lot of photography as well. A lot of dark blues and dark greens tend to look more like black. So that might be part of it.
Yeah.
But what about Schumachers? I mean, Schumachers didn't really change that much, did they?
Michael Schumacher did,
flag at the beginning, and then when he went to Ferrari, it went all.
Oh yeah, of course it
red,
did.
and then he kept with it design at Mercedes. But yeah, going back to like the sons of drivers, a lot of their helmets are very similar to their dads as well. PK, Lazy, people like that. Not Mick Schumacher's, funnily enough. It's the same sort of basis, but it's a totally different colour.
Yeah, there's often like a nod to the father. I know that from.
I know, Nigel Mansell's sons. Yeah, they've got the same helmet, but they've just sort of inverted it a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Well, thanks ever so much for that, everybody. And we'll see if Cammie has a chance to do one of those. But I know there's better.
It'd be easier for me to do a nice graphic that you can print rather than doing it in iRacing. That's
Oh, okay, that'd be cool. Okay, so the next week, the red-green round. Like I said, this week's a bit different. If you've got any red and green, and Rob, I don't suppose you've managed to get anything red or green to hand, have you? It's your first time on the Doody Magic. Look at that.
So you're ready for my other helmets now?
Oh, go on, Ella. Yeah.
Okay. So it's not just this is an ode to red and green, and an ode to the helmets, and an ode to our friend Neil, who's missing.
Yeah.
There we go.
It's Neil's red and green.
It's Neil's red and green.
Brilliant.
That's
You
good.
should post them to him, and then he can use them in the future.
I will.
Lovely stuff. Thanks for that, LA. And I see why you've left it to the end. That makes perfect sense now. Okay, so the red green this time round is not going to be yes or no or agree disagree. It's more like a play your cards right, higher or lower. So I'm going to give you a car manufacturer and then another one, and you've got to say whether they're better or worse than the previous one.
Jesus.
So let's see how this goes.
Oh,
So
see, I think we
Rob's-
could have done something clever with their net value or something.
What?
You could have done it with their stock value on that.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
if I could be
Tesla,
bothered. Yeah.
Oh, I'll do that one next
Tesla.
week.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Let's do this. We'll start with BMW. So BMW. The next one is Audi better. So green is Audi better or worse than BMW?
In what?
Just generally, it's Audi.
Oh.
Marginally.
Audi
Wait,
drivers.
what one's Audi?
Audi. So if Audi is better than BMW, you go green. If Audi isn't, okay. So Audi, right. The next one. So we're now comparing against Audi. This is going swimmingly, isn't it? It couldn't be any more confusing. Well, now Audi is the one that's up on the screen now, and then is Mitsubishi better than Audi?
No.
Oh,
You want red
shrink
then,
wrap
Rob?
off this.
Currently, no.
Red.
Red. Only Joe. Is it only Joe that's gone green? Okay, so Mitsubishi then. The next one is Alfa Romeo better than Mitsubishi?
Yeah.
Green.
Sorry,
Everyone
Mitsubishi.
thinks Alfa's better. Okay, so Alfa
Sorry,
Romeo.
Connor.
The next one is Mercedes better than Alfa Romeo?
Ooh.
Oh.
I mean, based off the Grand Prix last weekend, yeah.
Oh yeah.
A Mercedes is less likely to break down on you.
Okay.
I wouldn't put money on
don't
that.
know.
to be
No,
honest.
I really wouldn't put money on that.
Okay, so Mercedes is on the board. Next one is Ford better than Mercedes?
Well,
Straight up for
Oh,
Rob.
that's so hard.
I'm legally obliged to say yes.
Cammie, it's not worth your life, is it?
No.
But Cammie's going for the next one. So next one's compared against Ford. Is Volkswagen better than Ford?
I think Volkswagens are boring.
Rubbish.
Oh, Hannah
Agreed.
and Nia are going green. Okay. So Volkswagen. Okay, the next one. Jaguar. Is Jaguar better than Volkswagen? Hannah, no. Mark, no. Ian's not so sure. Ian's gone green. Okay. So Jaguar's on the board. Next one. Mazda. Is Mazda better than Jaguar? Nia and Alan have gone green. Okay.
Wrong. So
It had to be us.
No.
very, very wrong.
Next one. So Mazda's up on the board. Next one is Citroen. Is Citroen better than Mazda?
Ooh.
Or Rob?
Yeah, I'm a bit like that.
Ooh.
It's so
Legally
hard when
obliged,
these
but-
manufacturers have such a wide range of cars, isn't it? So Citroen, Mazda, kind of close. Okay. Alan's gone green. Okay.
Yeah, good man.
Okay, next one. One of our favourites. So compared to Citroen, is Vauxhall better than Citroen?
Is it not just the same with a different badge?
Yeah, it is now. Yeah.
Two equally weak forces.
Legally obliged, I'm afraid.
Very green, Joe. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So compared to Vauxhall, is Renault better than Vauxhall?
Well, that's easy.
They won't lend me a press car, so that's a no.
Oh, really?
Oh, but that's everyone. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, that's true. Everyone's red.
Then they will and forget to take it back, as much as I've heard.
Oh, really?
I'm told. Yeah, I've never had one from them either, so I can say what I want. Yeah.
All right. Cool. Next one. So Renault's on the board. Next one is Volvo. Better than Renault. Volvo.
Yeah, definitely. I've got an XC40 at the moment, actually.
Rob's gone against
Go on.
Volvo. Cool. Everyone else. Okay, next one. Another one of our favourites. So against Volvo is Tesla. Better.
No.
Ooh. Oh.
No.
Can I use a naughty word?
Alan, you can say what you like, buddy.
You're not a
Say
fan.
not. Say not. Well, at least the Volvo, Volvo, they assemble their cars rather than sort of collate them in a tent.
Oh, dear. Okay, next one. So Tesla, is Honda better than Tesla? Green. Joe says no. No, so Honda's not better than Tesla. Okay, next one. Battle of the Titans here. Is Toyota better than Honda? Alan's smiling. Alan, the Toyota man.
Legally obliged.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I think.
my own money.
Okay, bit of a mixed bag. But Rob's not committing either way.
I
Toyota.
don't
You still
know.
got that Yaris?
Have I still got that Yaris? Which one?
Yeah.
Both of
Did
them.
you ever-
Both
Yeah,
of
did you have something really cool, a GR or something?
Yeah, I still do. Yeah.
Nice.
Just clipped over the 30,000 miles last week.
Cool. Okay, a bit more of an obscure one to take on Toyota. Is Lancia better than Toyota?
No, it's not hard. When it's working or when it's broken down?
Yeah, it's cooler, but is it better?
Yeah. 30 years ago.
Hannah's not sure about this one. No.
Come on, Alan.
They're cooler when they're moving, but when they're on the
Yeah.
side of the road.
It's just like,
Okay. Next one, Nissan. Is Nissan better than Lancia?
Can't forgive them for inventing that whole Duke sort of thing.
A nice mixed bag again. Yeah, this is really interesting. Okay, so Nissan's on the board. Next one, is Fiat better than Nissan? Oh, a lot of thought gone into this. Again, mixed. Joe, are you? I wonder if there's a legally obliged thing coming up there, but no. It's like...
There will be at the end of the year when the merger happens.
Oh, of course.
Oh.
What was the name of the merger again? What are they going to be called?
Stellantis.
Fantastic. Wow.
you can get it in any good chemist.
And it can also be cured in any good chemist. So Fiat's on the board. Is Lexus better than Fiat? Nobody has any opinions about
Just
Lexus.
Toyota
Normally.
with a fancy name.
I found out how much or how
And the last
cheap
night-
ISFs were this week, used ones.
Yeah.
And it's just like, ooh, wow.
Oh, really? What sort of
alarming.
price are we talking for an ISF?
About 25. They go
okay.
down from there, but I would start at 25. I think.
Interesting stuff.
Yeah.
So you as a Toyota man, you'd consider an ISF over the normal German stuff, I presume.
I probably would, but my trouble is that BMWs are what my dad drives. You see.
Right. Okay.
Unlike most, yeah.
Okay, so the next one I've got on it, obviously lots and lots of manufacturers are not going to get done tonight, but let's finish with, compared to Lexus, is Peugeot better than Lexus?
I do like Peugeot.
I'll take the fifth.
You like Peugeot, but they're not better than Lexus.
Every Peugeot I see has a ding and a dent in it. I think it just says something about people who own Peugeots.
Yeah. There aren't many. Ian will know, being a Coventry person. I went to university in Coventry, and that's when the 206 was then coming out, and everyone in Coventry suddenly had a 206 because they were built there. But I don't see many of them anymore. I mean, apart from occasionally on adverts where they're in scrap yards or on their side or stuff like that. But what happened to all the 206s?
My friend's still got a 206 Quicksilver.
Has she?
Nice.
Oh,
yeah.
I've got a broken one.
Didn't they
Didn't
they redesign, was it the 306 to make it, because that was obviously bigger than the other two, wasn't it? And didn't they redesign that one and make it slightly smaller? So it kind of just kicked the 206 out, or am I on the wrong?
It might have become a 307.
They still had the 207.
Oh, could have been that.
replacing it.
Yeah, could have been that. They definitely discontinued it because he sort of replaced the idea of it with another one, but I can't remember the number of it.
Not seen like a 30. They went to 308, but I've not seen a 309. But I know they continued like the 206, 207, 208.
Yeah. 309 was an aberration. Sorry, Nia.
Was it?
I never they were just about to reach the 09s again and decided
of course,
stop on 08. And
Yeah, they're all 08.
I never understood why they stopped on 08 instead of reverting to 05, which is where all the good ones were.
Yeah,
You're
exactly.
Freeze on a number. It made no sense to me at all just to freeze on this random.
Got themselves stuck now, because if they do 309, that's the same as the little car they had in the 80s.
Yeah.
Which.
wouldn't surprise me if there's more 205s left now.
Exactly what I was going to say. Yeah, I'm more likely, I think, to see a 205 pass me than a 206.
It was more loved. I think people were more likely to. First of all, it was simpler and less. You would keep it going. Whereas a 206 was kind of the first of those kind of slightly newer cars that once they start to break, you just scrap.
Yeah, I think the trouble with the
205 was more loved. I think people are more likely to hold on to a 205 or to fix it up.
I've got the figures. I've got the figure.
People just threw it away.
Oh, Cammie, go on then.
Right, so everyone, whoever's closest wins. Give me a number of how many. This is just generic 205, so I assume it covers every model. How many 205s are still on the road as of the beginning of 2020?
We just want to chuck numbers at you, or
just chuck numbers.
7,000. 1,800, as many as that.
Yeah, 2,000. Yeah.
2,000.
This is in the UK, by the way, not worldwide. Just the UK.
Oh, in that case, it's lower than that. Okay, I've got to go 700.
2.5.
2.5.
800.
Has everyone had a guess?
100.
26.
No.
Closest. There's more than 26 GTIs left. It can't just be.
Yeah.
57 are sawn.
Oh, that must be split into different models or something, surely, because there must be more.
How many left does get a bit weird sometimes.
Yeah,
it's just a case of it does break it down into 205 automatic, 205 Aztec diesel. But I just chose the one that looked like it covered everything. Just
right.
205. But...
these are all Rob. I'm guessing these are all cars that you've never experienced being about 12 years old.
I remember working on one when I was in college.
Oh, right. What, 206?
That's all I know about it.
Yeah.
When I was in mechanics.
Have a car of your own? Do you have a road car?
Yeah, I've got. I bought myself a van, a Transit Connect. Nothing like to write home about, but it gets me to A to B. Bought that for work because I've got a Fiesta 2015 plate. But I'm a bit stupid at times. I like keeping the mileage down, and one year I think we were doing a lot of racing, so I obviously passed my test, and I was like, oh yeah, let's go explore and everything. And then the mileage kept on creeping up. I bought it on I think 20,000, and then by the end of that year I'd already done like I think 15,000. So I was obviously on 35,000, and I was like, oh God, I better keep this mileage down. And obviously my work is, I think, 25 miles a day. So then that's 50 miles a day and then 250 a week. So I was just like, right, I'll get myself another car just to try keep the value of this one.
So to save money,
this is
depreciation, you bought another car.
Well, it wasn't it's only a runabout van, so it's best part of $1,000, and
okay.
So obviously part of my contract as well is I don't have to pay for fuel.
Right. Okay.
Which, by the way, is all legal. So I don't have to do that. So it doesn't really cost me anything apart from insurance and road tax. So I worked it out in my head that I would save more money putting loads of miles on this van and not having to do much maintenance to it than if the Fiesta just sat there and didn't really do anything till race weekends or obviously the odd Sunday drive.
Good. And it's good that you've got a couple of Fords. I'm sure Cammie, as a Fordzilla racer, is very proud to know that there's...
Oh, I love Fords.
Do you? Is that your thing, is it?
Yeah, my dad used to have a Ford Focus ST2, I believe, when I was pretty young, before I think I started karting. And he always used to do like little, in nationals, little blips up to 60. And then that's where I think the buzz came from it
for me, but this shows my age. My dad did it in a Fiesta XR2. Rob's going, what's one of them?
What's one of them? Yeah, probably really cool.
I have no idea.
It's like a Fiesta ST, but much, much older. That's all you need to know.
Okay.
Much cooler.
Much cooler.
Anyway, DC.
Yes, LA. Pust, yes, Pust. This is why Rob and I are working together at the moment, because Pust is the new venture where I'm taking myself out there as a solo artist in digital marketing. Kind of left the day job and decided to focus a lot more on motorsport and that kind of thing. And it's really exciting times. I just need to get more clients in now. I've got a lot of people who are interested in working with me, which is great. And I've got a few signatures on paper already, which is fantastic. And hopefully, fingers crossed, I can work with some big names in the motoring industry and put what I know about marketing towards their brands and line their pockets and that kind of thing. So yeah, it's good. But as part of that, I wanted to put my money where my mouth is, and I'm a big advocate of supporting motorsport and up and coming races, that kind of thing, and hence Rob's here. I'd love to be able to stick a logo on Charlie Martin or Toby Trice's cars, but their budgets are a lot higher than F1000, so I have to be realistic. So as well as Rob, him and I are going to be working together on a few things. Also with Cammie, I've been a supporter of hers, supporting a Patreon for a while, and I'm hoping
cars are cheap.
yeah, hoping we could do a few bits there as well. But yeah, in time, hopefully you'll see the Pust logo, which is a weird logo because it doesn't stay still. You'll see that logo appear in a few different places. We've got a single-seater racer now, a sim racer, and hopefully I'll have a tin top racer at some point as well. And yeah, we'll see how it goes. But if any of you guys need any marketing, I'm available now. So thanks for asking, LA. That's very nice of you. Bless you.
I was just wondering. I mean, obviously it's been like a big of a hush thing rather than a piss thing. So
yeah,
I was like, well, it was launched yesterday, day before, was it?
Yeah, it's been the worst kept secret for a while. So I've been like building it up in the background while I just get all my ducks in a row. And officially, it was launched yesterday. Yeah, so I've been promoting a little bit today. But luckily, because I've already got a couple of clients in, I'm writing some content for websites. I've agreed to do social media for a sports car manufacturer, which is fantastic news. And that'll all get revealed in time. But yeah, so the website pustdigital.co.uk is live, and you'll see a blog about me and Rob actually on there, where I'm not only supporting Rob, but I think F1000 itself needs a bit more credit. It needs a bit more it needs to be considered more as a viable route into faster motorsport. A lot of people see it as below F4, which is ridiculous when they're lapping 3 seconds a lap quicker at some circuits.
Can I ask a dumb question? Sorry.
Go for it, Alan. Yeah.
So Formula 1000, F1000.
Yeah.
I also see it referenced as Formula Jedi. Is it the same thing?
It is the same thing, but a few years back, Fraser, who owns obviously the company with his dad, John called it Formula Jedi, and there's a story behind it. Because when Fraser was young, he loved Star Wars, and John asked him, "What do you want to call a business?" And he was like, "Jedi." So John then called it Formula Jedi, but obviously a more professional name and more updated name is now F1000.
It's just because he's not going to sue you for.
Yeah, well,
yeah.
So
it's just because I'd seen them at Rockingham previously, and they were always absolutely great racing. They were really good. They were a good one to watch if you were on the
and they're local to Rockingham as well. They're because Alan, you're not a million miles away, I don't think. Well, I think Rob, you'll know this. Are they based in Wellingborough in Northamptonshire?
Yes, they are.
Yeah,
all
so
right, that's just down the road. Yeah.
So apart from
between Mark and I.
Apart from Darth Vader, who would your dream client be, DC?
Apart from Darth Vader?
Yeah.
I don't know, put me on the spot. I don't know. Anyone, a name that you've heard of would be really fantastic.
The other
That'd
DC.
be really good. Sorry, who was that?
The other DC.
The other DC, yeah, the real DC F1. Yeah, this is the thing. Everyone seems to think I nicked that off him, but I didn't, because it was just sat there not being used. I thought, because I used to be, for people that have followed me on Twitter long enough will know I used to be Damien Cross 666. And I thought I'm going to have a bit more of an F1 theme, and I assumed that DC F1 had gone, which it had, and then DC underscore F1. Otherwise, David Coulthard would have taken that, and he didn't. I thought, oh, okay, I'll have DC underscore F1. So
you're relying on a lot of people making a typo, and then they find you.
Yeah, a lot of people used to say they got excited when they saw they'd been followed by DC underscore F1. And then, but now I've got another problem, and that's that there's a very famous Damien Cross. I think I might have brought this up in the past. There's a very famous Damien Cross who spells his surname with an E on the end. and it's easy for people to get us mixed up. Now, he's not someone that you would normally find on the internet unless you're into certain things. I'm just leading you all into Googling.
Oh, you've just reminded me. I tried to blank that out of my memory.
So God, I've just seen things that I want. Damien Cross XXX.
Yeah, there's another Damien Cross. So, but the thing is, I've got a Facebook page for my triathlon stuff that I don't do anything with, but I get lots of people following that, and I'm just like, oh, okay, you've just found the wrong Damien Cross, haven't you? So, yeah. Looking at their profile pictures, you can see that they're in the same scene as the other Damien Cross.
Yeah, he's got 500,000 followers. I'm sure you could pinch a few.
Yeah, I think I accidentally have, but I don't think people who follow me would stick around for very long because.
Yeah, that's why I started following you because I thought
Okay. On that note, because we have rushed past 9 o'clock as always, Craig, have you got a fact of the week for us?
I do, and thankfully it's a bit more tame than Damien Cross with an E. We've got any Damon Hill fans in the grandstand today?
Yeah,
roughly.
Bad news. It's 23 years since the day that he should have won for Arrows at Hungary.
Oh,
yeah. Damon Hill should have won the 1997 Hungarian Grand Prix, only for the hydraulics to go due to a very cheap part failing with only a couple of laps to go. Handed victory to his best friend Jacques Villeneuve, well, one of his best friends Jacques Villeneuve. But it was equaled the highest result that Arrows ever achieved in Formula One. Had 4 other second places in World Championship since. 3 of them were achieved by Riccardo Patrese of all people. At the 1978 Swedish Grand Prix, the 1980 US West Grand Prix at Long Beach, and the 1981 San Marino Grand Prix. And they also finished second at the 1985 San Marino Grand Prix of Thierry Boutsen. They also took second place at the 1980 Spanish Grand Prix, but that race, according to the FIA, never happened.
Okay, why was that then? Why didn't that happen?
Because Ferrari and Renault didn't turn up.
Oh.
Was that with the whole FISA and FOCA?
Precisely that, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's one of the victims of the FISA-FOCA war, which is...
Fun to say is what it is.
Yeah, it's one to read up on. It's good fun, that one.
I think that's a bit silly though, isn't it? Because they still consider the 05 Brickyard a Grand Prix, and a heck of a lot less teams turned up to that one. So
it's one of them was Ferrari.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
and they still nearly hit each other.
The same with San Marino 82. That famous race. Only 14 cars, I think, raced in that one.
Is that where they all ran out of petrol or something?
No,
several cars ran out of petrol?
No, that was 85 San Marino, actually, which Thierry Boutsen finished second for Arrows. Yeah, that was that one. But 82 San Marino, that was the famous Gilles Villeneuve, Didier Pironi team orders that weren't team orders battle. That one. Yeah, that one. But that one was affected by the FISA-FOCA war as well, and all the FOCA line teams withdrew, and you were left with a small grid.
Oh, and it was Nigel Mansell's birthday 2 days ago. Happy birthday, Nigel.
Happy birthday.
Oh, well, let me just tell you, it's mine in a couple of days.
Oh, all right.
Just saying. 13. The 13th.
I'm going to try and show you this, guys, but I think because my green screen is blue, it might struggle. But this is what Cammie got me for my birthday, talking to Nigel Mansell.
Oh, the wheels are gone.
That's cool.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Oh, thanks, Cammie.
Wow, you're welcome.
Amazing.
Plug.
Plug. Yeah, available on Etsy. Well, thanks ever so much, everyone. Thanks for coming along, especially those of you who have come along at short notice. And for all the helmet designs have been absolutely fantastic. A big thanks to special guest Rob, who I know was dreading the fact that he's going to have to go live on YouTube and that kind of thing.
Twitter again?
Rob sorry, what's your last name again?
How do you...
Welham.
Rob Welham Racing.
Welham. Yeah. It's a tricky one, I know.
It's at Rob Welham Racing.
Yeah.
And on Instagram, you're Robert_Welham 51 or something like that.
Yeah.
Rob Welham.
It should come up.
Yeah, you'll find him. You're social savvy. So before Ian falls asleep, because he's almost there, we'll say good night for now, and take care. And of course, as well as Cammie's prints, don't forget you can also order one of these T-shirts as displayed by Craig Woollard from Pop Band Colour Shop as well. But until next week, so 8 p.m. Mondays, British summertime. Not sure what we're going to do when the clocks change, whether to switch it to GMT or figure it out. I'm not sure. I'll have to change. She just says 8 p.m. That's okay.
Yeah, you're okay. You're good.
But until then, anyway, I'm wrapping up. So if you're watching this live, make sure you like it, subscribe. There's a thing, one of these directions. There'll be a thing at the bottom of the screen. And we really appreciate you tuning in. We'll leave some comments as well, so you can skip to different parts if you want to look at the red green stuff. You want to join when Rob joins, that kind of thing as well. But until next week, from everyone here, thanks so much and goodbye.
Bye.